Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm very happy to see the students coming for this session. And let me first welcome Sankalp Mahale. I know Sankalp when he was a president of our Goa University Postgraduate Student Council. I had just joined and he was the president, outgoing president of that. I had seen the kind of leadership that he had shown that time. He did not know me that time, right? I had seen his leadership at that time as a student, and later on he went to become Punch member and then Sarpanch also at a very young age. This is not a achievable feat for a lot of people, but what he has done, he has shown in his actions, right from becoming a student leader, then finally a politician. And now, right now, I always follow his social media page. I see the work that he's doing, right? And it is not easy to become a young person getting elected as a sarpanch. To get that support from a lot of people, senior experienced people are there. So I believe we will learn a lot from him. Why this topic that we chose? Let me tell you, the students who are new, first year students. We started this Center for Political Leadership 2 years back on 19 December. So we'll almost complete the second year this year with a vision that law students have the far higher chance to become politicians because you know how the governance works, how public administration works. So with that motive, we started this center, motivating you, giving you a lot of insight into what goes into political leadership. We had a lot of sessions decoding the leadership of political leaders across international, local, as well as national. So this is just another such sessions where you know about panchayat. And I believe just like solar, in India, two powers are not utilized properly, two resources, that is solar and panchayat. I believe panchayat has immense potential and youth can utilize that extreme potential that panchayat has. And that is what we will learn, wish to learn from Sankalp today. So once again, I welcome all of you. I welcome Sankalp and all the people who have gathered here today. So with this, I once again hand over to Purva.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a truly an honor to introduce our esteemed speaker for today's workshop, Mr. Sankalp Mahale. Hailing from vibrant Bagmalo village, he holds distinction of being one of the youngest sarpanches in the region. Having been elected as youngest punch member in 2017 at the age of 22, Mr. Mahale's dedication to public service is evident through his role as sarpanch in
Hello.
A very good day to each and everyone present here. My dearest friend and faculty member of VMS Law College, Ramrai Naik sir, CPL director in your education field, as well as the name, we share common name here because your CPL president Sankalp Gavkar just now who compared this function or who started this function, Purva Chodankar and all of you all present here. Okay. Firstly, I would like you all to know me as Sankalp first, then as the Sarpanch of Village Panchayat Chikolna Bogmalo. Okay. My journey, Purva has very well explained through, I had shared some insights of my field work to Ramrai sir, as Purva has very well explained. So my journey was all ordinary until I decided to contest GS election, General Secretary election in Parvatibai Chogale College, Margaon, way back in 2014. I was very quiet, a shy guy who used to hesitate to speak in English probably, and used to mingle with some boys in campus. So later on in 2014, when I decided to start off this campaign, and soon I got elected as General Secretary of Parvatibai Chogale College, and later on with a determination or aim to have an inter-college event named Tatastu in South Goa. During those time, I think Tatva from VMS Salwakar was stopped during those days only. Further, it didn't continue. But I had a dream to organize one inter-college event. But this inter-college event, who you all must have witnessed it or known about it recently, the second year or third year student must have visited also Chogale College or participated in this event. But when I organized this event with several other students, but it was major failure for the first time. Okay, I learned a very good experience or lesson from failure also. So Tatastu, when it was organized way back in 2014, in month of January or December, it was biggest failure for me as a student leader. Later on, I learned some lessons from then, and I graduated from Chogale College, came into university. There I became the CS, Cultural Secretary of Goa University. Then later on became postgraduate PGSU, Postgraduate Students Union. I became their president through TFU, independent student body, who I think Ramrai is also a part of it. So TFU was an independent student body with whom we were part of it. We became through that I became the president of Postgraduate Student Union in 2016-17. We participated in several events within state also and out of state also, where we won several intercollegiate events. We, as in TFU, gave several platforms to many of the students. As part of TFU, many of the students who are today engaged in various fields, it might be teaching field or maybe any other professional activities also. So I am a part of TFU, Together for University, who represent a village panchayat in Goa, a smallest village in Goa, but known for its touristic activities. A beautiful Bogmalo beach is under my jurisdiction, VP Chikolna Bogmalo beach. If anyone from you are from Marmugao constituency or from Vasco, must be knowing about Bogmalo beach. So I come from village, smallest village in Goa, probably Bogmalo. So up to 2017, it was all okay for me. Soon in 2017, suddenly panchayat elections were announced. During my college days, when we used to participate in event, I developed this capacity or ability to find problems, basically find problems and get solutions from them. So this provided a stage for me wherein I developed some problems, many people came to me. So let's contest these elections. So from there, it was no looking back. In 2017, with many people around, I contested at the age of 22. I contested panchayat election. During that time, one of the ex-Zilla member, ex-Sarpanch, or then MLA candidate who had lost the election also, he had offered me to set back, but I did not go back. I filed my nomination also. So he also contested against me, and from then I defeated him and went on to become the youngest Panch member in Goa way back in 2017. After that, I always believe that just one individual cannot contest an election. It is determination of all that it is contested by one determination of many individuals. So this is my mantra. So that's how we went on becoming, went on collecting many people with same thought, with same like-minded people. In 2017, it was very difficult for me when I targeted many problems in my particular ward where I was supposed to contest the election. There was no proper electricity, there was bad roads, there was no proper water supply. So basically these problems gave me a chance to contest to the election in 2017, and I with getting some knowledge from Goa Panchayati Raj Act 1994, which is being followed to contest this election, or Panchayat Raj systems work on this act. So following up or studying that act, I prepared one manifesto to contest the election. I won in 2017 with several others, and soon after that, in 2 years of time, I managed to solve all the problems within my ward. Particularly, you can see bad roads were converted into tarred road, hot mixing of roads were done. Soon after that, MRF shade, you all must be knowing. How many of you all come from village areas here? You can raise hands. Village areas. So garbage problem is faced in your villages particularly. So particularly, I took upon a challenge to set up this MRF shed, multi-recovery facility, a garbage shed to manage both dry as well as wet garbage in that shed. So I took up this challenge in, see, basically there is Nimba factor everywhere when it comes to garbage. Nobody wants to handle this garbage in their backyard or maybe closest to their point. So I took up this challenge and set up a MRF shed through Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin Phase 2. Under that, we set up this MRF shed in we managed to set up this MRF shed in my ward. Okay, I have some photos to share. Okay, this is our MRS shade where we treat wet as well as dry garbage. It is closest to around 100 meters from the locality. So this was a major challenge which I was supposed to tackle through locals also and with support of many members. Soon after that, MRF shade. Soon after this, laying of various water pipelines in my ward so that proper water is given to all. This is a basic need, road, water and electricity. This I consider as a basic need. So laying of various water pipeline to improve water. Soon after that, I come from a Bugmalo village, so we have a beautiful beach. So that beach was beautified. Anyone from Vasco here, so you must have visited this place. It was recently beautified with several benches were placed. Nice sunset you can see from that area. After that, hot mixing of road, Nalla desilting to overcome flooding in our village. After around 17 years, this Nalla was desilted, a lake we have which was desilted, and we after desilting that we avoided flooding in our village. So after that, maximum granted aid, we get some funds to develop our wards. So around 1.12 CR was utilized in only my ward. It was not in entire panchayat jurisdiction, but in only my ward. 1.12 CR during the time of 2017 to 2021, 22, basically 5 years term I had got in last term. So in that term, 1.12 CR was utilized in my ward. It might be maximum in entire Goa. So I was rewarded also from local panchayat minister for utilizing the same. Later on, underground cabling, which soon took place in Bogmalo after soon I became the Sarpanch. Later on, after this infrastructure development, some initiatives were what we took along with help of my local panch member and local resident from the village. Medical camps were organized within the village. Then later on, cleanliness drive with several authorities. Maybe there is Coast Guard headquarters in our village panchayat jurisdiction. We managed to get them on the field. Every 19 December or every 1 month or every Sunday in a month, we clean Bogmalo beach or surrounding areas. Later on, stray cattle maintenance is biggest challenge for everyone who resides in village. So along with local members and local youths, we managed to tie bands to the reflective bands to their necks. Also, Bajrang Dal was severally involved in this. Later on, many of the cattle were sent to Goshalas, nearby Goshalas. After that, sensitization sessions for students, local schools like Keshav Smriti High School, Vidya Mandir School, the surrounding schools in the panchayat, they came to panchayat to understand the functioning of village panchayat. I met them, several thoughts were exchanged with young minds. Beach cleanup drive after Ganesh idol emergence. This was a major challenge which we faced. After, you all must be knowing, many of the Ganesh idols which are made are of POP. So after this immersion, आम्ही गणपती पावयल्या उपरांत basically next day nobody goes to the this area. So around 200 to 500 Ganesh idols are immersed in Bogmalo beach during this Ganesh period. So next day when we went early morning to the beach, all the idols which were made of POPs were returned back. They were not submerged underwater. So these idols were again, with the help of lifeguard and local fishermen, we managed to immerse them back into water. So this was the major thing. Then field visits for students to depict, protect the cultural heritage. We small students who are there within the village, we took them to Old Goa also, then Lotli, this Ponne Goa, to show them this how old heritage Goa was, heritage houses were. So we managed to take them back to Old Goa. Then recognition of prominent personality. I consider myself very young. I am currently 28 years. So with this, it is power of Sarpanch to hoist flag during 26 January, 19 December, 15 August. This is power of Sarpanch which I have got. But see, I consider myself very young, so I have given this power to people who are recognized, ex-Panch member, those who have basically आमचे गावचे नाव खंय वचून वयर काडला. So these people come and hoist the flag. Now on 19 December we have a ex-Sarpanch who will be coming up and hoisting the flag. I will be there. So this is a recognition for people to engage with social activities or social initiative taken by Panchayat. Later we'll go to systems and functions of Panchayat. I think around at least 40% who are present here come from village area, correct? So I was going through Google yesterday, and 37.83% is rural. Out of total population of Goa, it is 37.83 resides in population resides in villages. Out of that, total around 191 panchayats are there in Goa. Okay, out of that, maybe you all come from various parts of Goa. So I come from village panchayat Chikolna, Bogmalo. So after those who have raised hands can raise them again. How many come from village area? How many panchayats there in your village panchayat? Any idea? No. Any idea? So you all are not connected to local governance. You all have 9. So your population must be around more than 5,000 to 8,000 in a village. Okay. So I have around 7 ward members. So my village population is between 2,000 to 5,000. So these are the categories which how panchayats are divided. For example, population a village population with 1,500 to 2,000. It comes it will be having 5 elected members, and it comes under D category. Same as more than 2,000 to below 5,000, 7 ward members will be there, and C category. Again, more than 5,000 to 8,000, 9 members will be there, and B category more than 8,000. This is a bigger area, so 11 members will be there, and A category. So like this 191 panchayats are there in Goa. How election takes place of these elected members? You all have been participating in election. Last election took place in 2022. Last year only, panchayat election took place in 2022. It was quite delayed, but it took place in 2022. So election of member, basically it is division of wards depends upon the population of the village. Later on, election takes place. All the villagers who has the voting right, they vote to particular representative. After that, one ward gets one representative, and this representative elects one sarpanch and deputy sarpanch among them. So out of that, if you all have, see, for example, in my village it is 7 ward. We come from C category. So out of it, 7 members are elected. After that, one sarpanch and one deputy sarpanch has been elected. This is a normal process which you all need to understand. We have several executive powers as sarpanch and deputy sarpanch, which you all can see: convene a meeting of the panchayat, place all the correspondence from government, director, chief executive officer, whatever correspondence we receive in terms, we need to organize some awareness programs or anything from a director of panchayat, what we receive, that has to place in the meeting. Secondly, to implement the program of welfare schemes and other development work. Any welfare schemes, for example, now it is Vishwakarma scheme. You all have heard of it? Okay, so that is currently going on. So we need to spread awareness about this scheme so that locals benefit from this scheme. Thirdly, to execute and implement resolution passed by panchayat. We have in months 2 meetings are conducted of elected body. Every 15 days we have a meeting which has been conducted. So any resolution, development resolution which has been passed, so I have to implement it. Have access to all the records of the panchayat. Exercise supervision and control over the acts of the officer and employees of the panchayat. We have several employees. I have currently one LDC staff, then other staff. Along with that, every panchayat has a government appointed secretary who looks after administration work. Okay, hold regular gram sabhas and other meetings of panchayat. Recover taxes. Each panchayat in Goa runs on taxes within the village, as in house taxes are there, commercial establishment taxes are there. So panchayat income depends on these taxes, infrastructure taxes. So recovery of taxes is greatest challenge. Fees and other dues from the defaulter of the panchayat. Place the audit report before the meeting of the panchayat and ensure its due compliance. Stop any unauthorized construction erected in panchayat area. So this is again a major challenge, because most of the illegal constructions are in panchayat area. You all must be knowing, recently in Sankwal area, if you all are connected to news, then around 30 houses were illegal houses on Kamdat land were demolished. So such things should be stopped then and there. So this is the power under section 66 of Goa Panchayati Raj Act. We can stop and action can be taken on the same. Ensure due compliance of the provision of the act. Comply with the direction and instruction issued by higher authority. In case of absence of sarpanch, all the powers and functions are given to deputy sarpanch, who has equal power as sarpanch, but in place absence of sarpanch, she can exercise these powers. Okay. Later on, meetings of panchayat. So there are 2 meetings which are held of elected body in every month. Within 15 days we have to hold this meeting. Duration is 15 days, as in 1 month 2 meetings are held of elected bodies. In this body, agenda is NOCs, no objection certificate, then construction licenses, then any other personal agendas, or if there is fight between 2 neighbors, such things can be entertained in this elected body meeting or ordinary meeting, what we call. So these things are there in ordinary meeting, what we discuss in every 15 days, and due compliance has been taken. Secondly, a special Gram Sabha. This special Gram Sabha is organized on special days like 26 January, then 15 August, 2nd October and 19 December. In a year, 4 special Gram Sabha are held. Government sends certain directions to include in agenda. Normal, as in if anyone wants to put up some points for discussion, it can't be taken in special Gram Sabha. Any person who need a special attention, he has to get a minimum signature of 1/10 of the population. For example, if population of the village is 4,000, then he has to get 400 signature to conduct a special Gram Sabha on any special issue, maybe environmental issue or any panchayat area is as in it is affecting panchayat. So anyone can get this 1/10 of the population signature, then we can hold this meeting. Or Sarpanch reserves the right to call a special meeting to discuss a special agenda. Secondly, thirdly, what we are discussing today, it is Gram Sabha. So duration of Gram Sabha are held in a year in the month of January, secondly in the month of April when our financial year starts. Third Gram Sabha is in month of July and fourth Gram Sabha is in month of October. If Panchayat body fails to conduct a Gram Sabha in month of January, then BDO, the block development officer, sends a notice. He convenes a date as per his schedule. So we have to hold this meeting. In this meeting, several points from people are discussed. this as in Gram Sabha meeting is notice is out on prior to 10 days. For example, Gram Sabha meeting will be on 30th of this December. So on 20th of December, maximum awareness is done within the village that Gram Sabha will be held on 30th December. People can put up their points or any points with regards to their concern to the village. Basically, Gram Sabhas are held for proposal, development proposal only. But nowadays in Goa, if you all can see, if you all have visited local panchayat during this Gram Sabha, it is all between personal grudges are taken place in this Gram Sabha. So this should be avoided. So panchayat reserves a right, as in panchayat gives specific time of 6 days to put up any points for discussion. Later on, elected body held some meeting. They discuss whether this point should go in Gram Sabha or not. If body decides in majority any point should not be discussed in Gram Sabha, then certainly on the day of Gram Sabha that point will not be discussed. Okay, certainly Gram Sabha are held on every on Sundays only, so that people are convenient enough to attend the same. So regularly these things are done. Then functions of Gram Sabha, annual statement, this is the agenda, basic agenda of Gram Sabha, what has to be discussed. Other than this, a larger prospect, issue with affects the village can be decided in the Gram Sabha. Any personal grudges can't be decided in the Gram Sabha. If you have any problem with your neighbor or any personal things, it can't be decided in Gram Sabha. The issues which are affected to majority of population and decision taken in Gram Sabha is binding on elected body. It can't be changed. We as an elected body can't change this decision. Whatever has been decided, a resolution which is passed in majority is final. Certainly, if any person is aggrieved or is not as in he is aggrieved, can certainly challenge this decision in Gram Sabha to director within 30 days. So certainly these are the functions of Gram Sabha or agenda which has to be discussed. Annual statements of accounts should be placed in the Gram Sabha. Annual administration report, budget estimate, the development and other programs of the work proposed for current financial years. Later on, the last audit reports and replies. See, nowadays it is total transparency in Gram Panchayats. Every rupee spent has to be audited, and for that auditing agencies are appointed. We don't have any powers as Sarpanch. I have power limited up to 1 lakh. I can immediately sanction 1 lakh. But apart from that, if I have to do a expenditure above 1 lakh, then BDO is there. Above 6 lakh, BDO has power up to 6 lakh. After that, any expenditure which has to be done above 6 lakh, then director intervenes. So transparency is there at every moment. So secondly, proposal for organizing community service, voluntary labor or mobilization of local people for any specific work included in the program. Then identification of beneficiaries under various government program, determination of priorities of the works to be undertaken by panchayat, utilization certificates for development work undertaken by panchayat from the grant in aid or panchayat funds. So this is the basic agenda. Apart from this, any issue which is affecting village in larger prospect can be discussed in the Gram Sabha. Later on, there are 3 categories of participant. As per my experience, I can witness 3 categories of participants in the Gram Sabha. One is political opponents who have lost the election, they will be present there, or critics will be there. Secondly, people with visionary proposal for the village, these people will definitely come there. Or third are viewers with no active involvement. As in they are there, but there is no active involvement from there. So these are the 3 types of people which you can find in the Gram Sabha. So thirdly, the point, the CPL as in Center for Political Leadership, what we are meeting today, this agenda is must. How igniting youth participation in Gram Sabha. Me being a youth, I tend to have social exposure. Also, you all must be through social media. You will have much social exposure. You all know what are the things going on within the village or within the state or within the country also. So you all know how to get solutions. So this is there. More than 50% of the population in India is below the age of 25 years. We are a young country, or young leaders are there in the nation or also in Goa. Okay. Secondly, active participation in local governance from you all are must. For that, these sessions are conducted, wherein you all must understand the process of governance or local governance, how important it is to raise voice against injustice or anything wrong done in the village, or any project which is coming up within the village, it might be affecting the village. So this is how you all will come to know when you all participate in Gram Sabhas. So secondly, thirdly, representation of diverse perspective. You all must be having various solutions to any problem. Age-old people come with age-old solutions only. That's what I think. So when you all participate, you all will get various solutions to various problems. So community engagement is must. So you all must be Gram Sabha are maximum attended in Goa by age-old people. Then you all can go there, engage with age-old people, understand the problems behind any project or any any projects basically. Secondly, transparency in decision making irrespective of caste, creed and religion. This is what we expect in Gram Sabha and from youth also. We have a problem solving capacity within us. For example, I will tell you, during COVID period, okay, pandemic period was there, and people were facing lots of problems. For example, you all must have gone through this pandemic period where you all were government had restricted you all from going out. During that time, I along with several members, several young minded and like minded people, we were delivering groceries doorstep. This was done. Then people wanted any help in case of swab testing. So we had provided these services, groceries were provided. People who need medical help or medical help, who wanted to go to hospitals also, we were providing them services. So this can be done with help of like-minded youths only. We have problem solving capacity. That's what I think. That's why I have a rescue team with me. Along with that, Tokte cyclone was there. You all must be, anyone come from, anybody here from coastal villages of Goa? From where? Kandolim. So I also come from coastal village only. So whenever there is strong wind flow or cyclone are there, so coconut trees tend to fall on the roads, or it disrupts the electricity. So during this period, along with several a rescue team I had organized with the help of local Coast Guard, we tend to clear this road. Within 24 hours, electricity in particularly, not in village, but particularly in my ward, it was restored. So this can be done with the help of like-minded people, like-minded youth. We have the problem solving capacity. So this can be done. Further, in COVID period, I'll tell you, we were not finding any people, laborers basically to carry out sanitization drive. So me along with my local team, me along with my local punch, we wore those PPE kits and went on to COVID affected houses, went on there, and sanitization drives were taken place. So this can be done only with people who has problem solving capacity. So youth participation in Gram Sabha or local governance is very much important. I hope further after this, going through this PPT, or this is a small glance which we have taken, I feel ideal panchayat will be, which will be ideal panchayat? The panchayat who has future goals and aspiration, a vision for villages will be an ideal panchayat for me. Transparency and accountability is must for any ideal panchayat. Thirdly, community involvement and feedback. Gram Panchayat means what? The Gram means villages, and Panchayat is a place where people meet. So villagers' importance, villagers' involvement and engagement in decisions are must. That's why this Gram Sabhas or Gram meetings are held within the villages. So community involvement and feedback, along with that, just not the meeting, but after that feedback is must. How we are supposed to take forward this any schemes with regards to how we have to make awareness within the village. So these things are must. Thirdly, collaboration with government agencies for executing any kind of work. For example, any scheme which we have to implement within the within our area. For that, Vishwakarma scheme is recently introduced by government, wherein we need director of social welfare. With the help of them, we can implement this scheme within our village area. So collaboration with government agencies are must for an ideal panchayat. Further, financial stability of panchayat to implement all the programs or develop infrastructure within the village. Financial stability is must. For that, recovery of taxes is very much important. A panchayat runs on taxes commercial taxes or infrastructure taxes, which is government doesn't provide any specific funds to this panchayat. It is done only through taxes which are incurred from that village jurisdiction. So financial stability of panchayat is must. Thirdly, what you all can identify from this, these two pictures. Sorry, from picture number 1. One is thinking out of the box. Yes, whenever you all face any problem, you all have to think out of the box. That's what we expect from young minds. Second pictures, when there is no way, you have to make your own way, breaking all the barriers. This is what we expect from all the youths. Okay, and this is my simple message to all you all. Be the ordinary to bring the change that are extraordinary. Okay, at the age of 28, I am currently teaching in MES Higher Secondary. Just now I met your principal before coming here. He was also asking me how you can manage. Apart from this, I am a youth leader or youth. I handle Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha. I am a president of Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha Dabolim constituency. So several programs which are there in constituency are handled by me. Thirdly, I am a member and director of MPDA, Marmugao Planning Development Authority. So any development which takes in entire Marmugao Taluka, right from Marmugao constituency, Sada up to Kortalim. So this under the chairmanship of Joshua D'Souza, who is MLA of MAPSA. So under his chairmanship, there is this body. I am a director of MPDA along with that. I am teaching currently in MES Higher Secondary as lecture bridges teacher, Sarpanch of particular Chikolna Bugmalo village. So how I can manage this 4 position at same time, where you have to have that determination within you to, and also a vision to carry out certain things. After 2, for you all as a student, you all must be going and doing your regular work. But after 2, a separate life starts for me. From 8 to 2, 8 to 1, it is basically I have to engage in school activities, taking lectures. I can't go out and do certain works during this time. After 2, it is 2 to 5, it is panchayat. I am a local entrepreneur also. I have 2 businesses who are running, which are running in local jurisdiction also. So these are various role, a multi disorder problem which I have. So this has to be with you all also. At the age of 28, I was elected as a Panch, second time elected as a Panch member. Later on, I went to become youngest Sarpanch in Goa. Okay, so these are the things, or local governance plays a vital role in everyone's life. We are a village, or we are a state where around 87, maybe tentatively around more than 50% villages population resides in villages, 37.83 I think. So this population is there. So we need to engage in this local governance. As Sir rightly said, through CPL, they are promoting you all as the next leader, future leaders. You all are very well close to law prospects. So you all must be a future leader. For this, you all have to start from here. You all must be engaged in local governance. Many of you all must be coming from municipal areas. So you all must know what is going on in your ward. What are the problems faced by people within your ward, so that you all can develop some solution to it. You all have local representative who are municipal councillor or village ward members, elected ward members. You all can go to them or solve people's problem. That is must. So we have been doing this at very early age, and I thank at the end of this PPT presentation, I thank Ramrai, very good friend of mine, to give me this chance. I am doing this for second time. I was speaking on this same particular topic in MES college later year back, and now Pinnacle discussion was held last year in university also. So these things are there. We want people to grow similar like us. Tomorrow, whatever ideas we have done or whatever things we have done till now, you all can go ahead, you all can implement certain things. It is not that you should be a elected representative only, but you all can help those who are elected representative in your village. You all can help them and get some changes in your wards or maybe your locality. That is what we expect, and local governance is must in any part of Goa to, so that you all can get some change in your society. I thank Ramra Naik for bringing me here or making me come here and speak to you all. Okay, we can start with question answer.
Anyone wants to ask question, please raise your hand and pass the mic.
I would first ask the question. Sankar, can you take us through this process of how the Gram Sabha goes? You must be getting a lot of questions from people as a Sarpanch, right? How do you tackle those questions? Because there will be, like you said, there are visionary people who are demanding things which may not be even possible. So how do you tackle those questions as a Sarpanch?
See, hello. Okay. See, sir, what is there? There are three types of people, how I have mentioned on this slide. One is visionary proposal. Those people are very much important. They come with only proposal. They are not worried about any other things with regards to the same. But in our panchayat, we are regularly in touch with such people. So these people doesn't turn up only in Gram Sabha. They are here. We have a GPDP plan, Gram Panchayat Development Plan. So we are closely engaged with these people. So any proposal which they come up with, we discuss with them, or with the help of local MLA and Minister Momin Gudino is our local MLA in the Daboling constituency. We tend to solve their problem at the earliest. Like age-old problems, such as there was an election agenda in Bogmalo or particularly in Daboling constituency. For example, we wanted a football ground. Okay, every political campaign used to run in Bogmalo with this ground only, because our MLA, who is 7 times elected in the same constituency, so every time he used to target it with the same issue, when this ground will be done in Bogmalo. So such age-old problems are being solved currently, wherein we are trying through government isn't able to give us this ground. So we have managed to get this solution from CSR. FC Goa is doing a ground for us in Bogmalo. So this is the thing. Wherever government is not able to go ahead with our proposal, like you said, some proposals are not are out of box. So we tend to implement this proposal, or get, if it is important from panchayat area, we tend to get this problem solved with the help of CSR. For example, shipyard is local, as in it is close by to us. Shipyard helps us through CSR initiative. FC Goa helps us through CSR initiative. So whatever is not possible through government, or whatever proposals are not possible through this government agency, we tend to get it solved from CSRs.
So a lot of students are here. If let's say they want to attend the next Gram Sabha meeting of their panchayat, how do they research about the issues? How do they find the issues? How do they then go and present those issues?
Okay, firstly, we have seen the process of Gram Sabha. Okay, Gram Sabha are held every year, and in month of January. Now soon, what you all will must be going through is month of January. There will be a Gram Sabha within your village. If it is not in January, it will be definitely held in February. It is compulsory. Sometimes Sarpanch they are feared with questions of the villagers. So they tend to postpone this, or try to ignore or avoid this Gram Sabha, so that people will come and question this, or some things will happen. So in month of, if it is not in January, it will be definitely held in February. First, you will go to your particular village and identify some of the problems. Problems may be basics. Maybe you all must not having be proper roads, रस्ते नासतले, नाल्या लायटीचो प्रॉब्लम आसतलो, खंय इलेक्ट्रिसिटी आनी कितें प्रॉब्लम आसतलो. सो प्रॉब्लम्स जे आहा तुमच्या गांवा भितर ते फर्स्ट अंडरस्टँड करा. यू ऑल नीड टू अंडरस्टँड द प्रॉब्लम्स. आतां प्रॉब्लम्स तुमी कशे अंडरस्टँड करतले? लोकां वांगडा भोंवन, नाल्यार तुमच्या पेरंट्सांक विचारून. हे प्रॉब्लम्स कशे तुमी अंडरस्टँड करतले हे तुमचेर आसा. हे प्रॉब्लम्स अंडरस्टँड करून ते पंचायती भितर मांडपाक जाय. सो तुमचे प्रॉब्लम्स कशे आसतले? इफ प्रॉब्लम इज अफेक्टिंग लार्जर पीपल in the village area, so those problem can be put up as an agenda in Gram Sabha. If it is particularly affecting individual, for example, तुमचोच प्रॉब्लम आहा, तुमच्या घरा कडेन येवपाक रस्तो ना, that can't be addressed in Gram Sabha. You can write it directly to Sarpanch की असो प्रॉब्लम आसा. So Sarpanch will definitely reply back to you all. We have a time bound services. Within 30 days, Sarpanch has to reply back. Any decision which has taken place, Sarpanch has to definitely reply back. Otherwise, you can challenge the decision on higher authorities. So these things are there. Identify the problems. Later on, after identifying the problems, scrutinize those. If it is affecting a village or larger people, or if it is affecting only you. If it is affecting only you, you can very well write to directly to the panchayat. So they can discuss within 15 days. They will discuss and write back to you what is the solution. If it is affecting larger people in the village, so you all can discuss in the Gram Sabha. You all can put a proposal. There are after announcing, for example, 30th December is the Gram Sabha. So before 10 days, maximum awareness will be done within the village. Mic will through loudspeakers, suspicious places, this notices will be served. Churches, temples, wherever maximum awareness will be there that Gram Sabha will be held on 30th December on so and so time and so place. So after you all know that Gram Sabha or meeting will be held at particular place, 6 days you will have to put up this, address this issue. So within these 6 days, any day you all can select and write in return. You all have to write to Sarpanch that you all need to discuss this topic in the coming Gram Sabha. So alternately, Sarpanch and elected body will decide whether your issue can be discussed or cannot be discussed. For example, I also face a problem with regards to illegal construction within the village. So people tend to fight and neighbor there problem असता, दोन नेबरांचा प्रॉब्लम असता. ते कितें करता एकमेकांचेर घालता, कळ्ळें, बरोवन घालता. सो प्रॉब्लम केन्ना जाता, we can't discuss illegal construction in Gram Sabha. That can be discussed in ordinary meeting which is held within 15 days. So what problem asta, you all can identify the problems, further scrutinize them and write to Sarpanch to that you all want to discuss. Certainly not only प्रॉब्लम्स घेवन वचा, तुमच्या सायडींतल्यान सोल्युशन घेवन वचा. तुमचे सरपंच जे आसतले, थोडे सरपंच आसता ते नेमसेक आसता, गोंयान आसा, दे आर जस्ट होल्डिंग द पोजिशन. सो काय करचें ना. सो तुमी तेच्या वांगडा सोल्युशनय घेवन वचा की अशें न्ही की प्रॉब्लम्सच, पूण सोल्युशन तुमी कशें काडूं शकता तेय तांकां सजेस्ट करा. इफ दे आर सेयींग दॅट आमचे कडेन फंड्स ना, पंचायती कडेन फंड्स ना, देन आस्क देम टू प्रपोज इट to higher authority. There are several funds which we get. Grant in aid is among that. मागीर जिला पंचायत funds असता पंचायतीक, मागीर PWD funds असता, मागीर 15 finance what we got. So there are several funds which panchayat has. So you all can very well propose through these funds and follow up is very much important. So हे तुम्ही करपाक जाय तुमच्या local governance भितरूच.
So I have two questions in particular. First question, as you said, there is a time limit. Like within that, the Sarpanch has to act, and then if he is not acting, one can go to higher authority. So that higher authority has the right to remove the Sarpanch if he is not acting properly, his powers is going off. Second thing, what are the means you reach to the people? Like, tell me 5 means by which you sensitize people or reach to each and every household, taking one topic and bringing awareness among them.
See, first thing, we are elected representative. Nobody can until and unless any corrupt practices are proved against us. We by higher authority director can disqualify us when there are certain practices, corrupt practices, and it is proved. Allegations doesn't matter. Allegations will be there. We are in political field. Allegation will be there from our political opponents or critics. Allegations are there. But until and unless it is proved, we can't be disqualified. Our higher authorities, if we don't take an action within 30 days, they intervene and they ask the secretary. BDO, block development officer, is directly connected to the secretary. Secretary is the administration head. He will direct us in the meeting that so and so has thing gone up and BDO has directed to take the action. As per Goa Panchayati Raj Act 1994, we can very well take an action. We have to write some proceedings are there. So we have to write some action which we have taken. But within 30 days, for example, any NOCs for any construction license is held within Panchayat by 30 days. BDO can directly intervene and clear that NOC. He has that power. If we are not clearing it within 30 days or we are not giving any specific reason, genuine reason why we are keeping it on hold, after 30 days BDO can intervene and he can clear it directly without our support or maybe our resolution. So he can very well do it. Secondly, what you say, 5 means that we are directly see in Panchayat on every Saturday, our current Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant with the initiative of Swayam Purna Goa, a Swayambhurna Mitra is there in every panchayat on every Saturdays. Okay, so he is the person who directly connects to government agencies. So people can very well meet him. That is one part. Secondly, a person, a field worker from Director of Social Welfare is in panchayat. Talatis, certain people are in the panchayat. So this any government work, what we have to do. For example, residence certificate, if you all need, you all can visit panchayat, get it through Talati. So these things are there. Apart from this, various initiatives like we Sarkar tumcha dari, Prashashan tumcha dari, government at your doorstep. We were trying to give maximum facilities to the people of our village by getting this government agency directly within the village. We are having this camp regularly in 3 months basically. So wherein several government agency come to our village, a camp is held for 1 day. People with their problems come to this village. For example, if you have problem with your election card, you need to change or you need to correct your name. So you all can find this directly there. Medical camps are held regularly in the village so that health concern are health initiatives are taken place. Apart from that, we have a small school. I tend to go there, exchange some ideas with those young minds. So they tell me Bal Gram Sabhas are held, wherein small people, small children come there. They tend to discuss their issue. Prominently, they come up with bus issue because while going to the school or coming back, they don't have proper transport facility. This is my village concern. So there are several means are there. For I'll tell you the recent thing what we are doing on 15th on 16th. Sports connect everyone. Okay, so on 15th and 16th we are having this biggest inter-ward futsal tournament where within the village people will come. They will connect to local body also. They will meet several people also. So these are various initiatives taken by my panchayat. Again on 19 December we will meet them. 19 December, as I have said, ex-Sarpanch will come here. So she will get several people to the panchayat. Exchange of ideas will be there. VDCs are conducted, village development committees are there. So they tend to take meetings on in every, this is the additional wing of elected body. VDCs, then biodiversity committees, then garbage committees. Around 17 committees are there who are non-elected but they help in help elected body in this administration process. So through them various issues are handled. So these are the means which we are connected to locals. So these things are there. Anything else?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to ask questions. Just with regards to your statement on illegal constructions, where you said that personal issues should not be taken up in the
Gram Sabha.
But doesn't it affect the overall development of the village when you talk about illegal constructions? Because, say for example, even though there is a personal enmity, if someone encroaches on public land or without any due consideration for the laws in place, they construct a house. In future, for purposes of sewage, water, electricity, now all of these things are given to the illegal construction through the Health Act. Even though there is no taxes which are paid. For the purpose of collecting taxes, they grant them water, electricity, house number. And the rationale is to collect money from the panchayat.
Yeah.
But isn't it counterproductive to not bring up these issues at the Gram Sabha level?
See, Gram Sabha is, these are the issues which are there, illegal construction. It has to be faced, it has to be addressed immediately. Okay, if you have a problem, for example, you and Sankalp are there, you all are enemies. So he is constructing an illegal house. So you have to immediately write to me. So when my office receives this complaint, I will issue a stop order immediately. You don't have to wait for Gram Sabha. Okay, Gram Sabha will be held in January. He is constructing house in month of month of November. You won't be able to wait up to January. In 3 months' time, he will complete his house also. So these are the issues which needs to be it needs urgent attention. So you can very well write to me immediately. Stop order will be issued by Sarpanch if the construction is illegal. Same after issuing a stop order, he has to stop because stop order will be issued to him also and local police department also. So according that, police will monitor his work. So secondly, in every 15 days meeting which is held, ordinary meeting which is held, we will place this your complaint in our meeting, and certainly show cause notice will be issued to him, and further course of action will be taken. If he fails to produce certain construction licenses, what illegal construction, whatever he is doing, then it will be placed, and under section 66 of Goa Panchayati Raj Act, we will move against him a certain a demolition order. The process will start basically. If you say we need to stop around in every villages around 60 to 70% structures are illegal. 60 to 70% structures are illegal in municipal areas also. I am making this statement basically because in Goa you have to face this problem. You can't stop. Basically today Ram Rai is your enemy, but this Sankalp is your enemy. But Ram Rai, who is good friend to me, he is in good touch with me. Sarpanch would take action against him. So these are the biased things which are done in Panchayat also. And you can't directly stop illegal construction because there is certainly I don't know how to stop illegal construction also. If we go and take certain actions also in a certain period, we can stop them there and there before it starts. But there are structures, illegal structures. In my village area also, there is encroachment on Kamdat Lake. Around 300 to 400 houses are there. Tomorrow, if I move a resolution against them or actions are taken against them, 300 families will be on the road. So these things are there. So we have to, these people who have started this illegal construction, it has to be stopped then and there. I can't stop it now because he is already there. See, understand one thing also. If you become tomorrow Sarpanch or local leader also, you need to understand one thing. Apart from this administration, one thing is that humanitarian ground is also there. You can't demolish that structure and bring that family on the road. As a Sarpanch, it is equal responsibility of you to take care of that, take care of those villagers also. If construction is being done freshly, if area was vacant and he's starting the construction then and then, you have to stop it there and there. Then only he won't go ahead. But construction which are there from 30 years, 50 years, we can't go ahead and stop them now or demolish or take action against them. So these things are there. This is the balanced approach which we need to take.
Sorry, I have a
Yeah.
question. Just to follow up
Yeah.
on the same thing. So in your opinion as a Sarpanch, you think that the purpose of granting them electricity, water and house number, yes, water and electricity or for the purpose of humanitarian grounds for health purposes. But does it meet the purpose of collecting the revenue, the income for the panchayat? Is that objective?
See, government introduced two things. Construction which is legal, they get house number. Okay, construction which is legal. And construction which are on government land or maybe illegal on private land or Kamdat land. For those, government has introduced this enrollment house number. Okay, so enrollment house number doesn't make you legal. Panchayat gives you a number, but gives you a enrollment house number. It doesn't make you a legal structure. It is only for Panchayat to take some taxes. Okay, one thing is there. Other than that, we will issue water and electricity connection, NOCs based on that. So these things are there. See, your structure is there. It is age-old structure for around 30 years. We are not getting any house tax from you. We are not demolishing or not taking any actions against you. But you are there. But you are not paying anything to the panchayat. So that's why government has introduced this enrollment house number. It doesn't legalize your structure. You are illegal only, but you are paying some amount to the panchayat. Your structure will be there, no? Further, it was there from 30 years. It will be there for next 50 years also. But you won't pay anything to the panchayat. So collection of taxes, since panchayat runs on taxes only, so taxes is also important. We don't legalize your structure by giving you a number. It is kept aside. So these things are there. Equally, taxes are important for panchayat to run.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just a follow up on that. So you also mentioned about the funds.
Yeah.
So how are these funds? What are the funds which are allocated, and how much of the funds are allocated towards each panchayat? And
See-
on what basis and over how many years?
See, it depends to depends. It depends to case basis. Basically, 15 finance, what we get is it depending on population of the village. As per the population, if your population of the village is on higher side, I mentioned about 8,000, then you will get higher 15 finance fund. It has to be utilized within a year only. For example, you get fund from 23-24, so it has to be utilized within that year only. And utilization certificate should be sent to higher authorities. Okay, one thing. Then grant in aid funds are there, GIA what we call. That depends on the follow-up what we make. Since our local MLA is also Panchayat Minister, we tend to get these funds very easily. So two things are there. No, every punch member is not allocated specific funds. It depends how you follow up. Okay, every punch member is not connected directly to the minister. Okay, that things are there. So political things are there here also. The minister will clear file of who is directly connected to him. So that's how it is. So GI funds are depending on follow up or what we are below 40 lakhs per annum taxes. So we tend to get more funds, this GI fund. Apart from that, PWD funds are there or WRD funds are there, Zilla funds are there. It depends on follow-up. There is no specific amount allocated to the panchayat. How we put up proposal and how we follow up. Even the Zilla member has to follow up. He has to take resolution and pass those. So it depends.
Sorry, and my last question
Yeah.
is, what is the Vishwakarma scheme and how does the public come to know, how is an awareness created or how can they access
See,
the schemes which are available and made?
Vishwakarma scheme is central government scheme. Around 17 artisans are there in this, are mentioned in this. For example, boat makers, tailors. So these are the 17 people who are mentioned. Only they can avail this scheme. How Sarpanch is involved. For example, you reside in my village. You take up this scheme or you apply for this scheme through CSC, Common Service Center. So I have to certify you as a tailor that you were practicing this occupation from long period. After that, you will get a stipend of maybe 500 per day, I think, something around. And 15,000 are given to you through government, state government, to purchase these items or purchase. Yes, so this is there. So 17 artisans are there within this. Vishwakarma is a central government scheme. You can avail this scheme through your panchayat or social welfare department also. You can approach them and they will get it done online also.
Is there a website where all these schemes
Yes. Goa Online app is Goa Online is the website for it. So you can very well go through it. All the schemes you will get through it. Yeah.
If we get a news that a housing project is coming in our locality, and we know that it will create a negative impact on the locality, we pass a resolution in the panchayat saying that we do not want, as a Gram Sabha, we do not want this project. And then who is the implementing authority
See.
to implement a resolution?
See.
Sarpanch tries to still give the permission to the
You come from which village?
Taluk.
Okay. So see, understand one thing. These are the common problems faced in every villages or every local body, where permissions are given to any big project. Later on, people come and object to the same, and Gram Sabha doesn't have the power to overrule the law. Okay, we can take any resolution, but it doesn't have power to overrule the law. Okay. Secondly,
The resolution taken in law is not binding.
it is not binding. Current, as per law, it is not binding. If you take a resolution and he has taken all the permissions from various authorities, from construction license is taken, TCP has given him approval, then PWD has given him water availability certificate. All the permissions are taken by him, and you all tend to object the same project in the Gram Sabha in majority. Tomorrow, what he'll do? He will challenge your decision before additional director of Panchayat North. That Gram Sabha has stopped his work. As per the majority, Sarpanch will definitely stop his work, or the work will be stopped as per Panchayat Act. Further, he will go because he has invested money, no? He has taken all the permission. Why people are stopping his work? So he will challenge the same within 30 days to additional director of Panchayat. So additional director of Panchayat is the person to decide whether the person who is coming up with the project is correct, he has all the permission, or whether Panchayat is objecting to the same project is correct. So additional director of Panchayat will pass an order. Again, if additional director of Panchayat passes the order in the favor of that builder, then Panchayat can challenge the same before district magistrate, and district magistrate order will be the final one. If you all want again, if the same order is passed in the favor of that builder also, then you have to go to High Court.
Finally, what is the value of the resolution passed in the
See, you all cannot go beyond this law prospect, he gets all the permissions, right? So he has got all the several permission from several authorities. Okay, that's what I was saying. So issues what are discussed, it can't be illegal construction issues in the Gram Sabha. People.
I'm saying that it will have a negative impact on the environment and people know, and there is a AI report that it will have a.
So you all need to prove नो तुमचो कोण एडवोकेट आसतलो न्हू तेणी प्रूव करपा पडटलो. सॉरी
We have to file a suit against.
डेफिनेटली तुमच्या एडिशनल डायरेक्टर ऑफ पंचायती मुखार तुमकां वचपा पडटलो, एडवोकेट काडपा पडटलो. ही हेज टू प्रूव ऑल दीस थिंग्स न्हू.
Resolution pass करून.
नो रेजोल्युशन पास करून ते काम बंद उरलें न्हू. पंचायतीन जे इलेक्टेड बॉडीन जे ताका लायसन्स दिल्ले.
सरपंच शिव म्हणटा की आपूण तिची परमिशन आसा.
हय.
रेजोल्युशन आपूण रेजोल्युशन पास जाता तरी पूण तो परमिशन दिवंक शकता जाल्यार.
परमिशन तो सरपंच दिवंक शकना. मेजॉरिटी तुमी डिसिजन घेतलो ग्रामसभेन, पंचायत थंय बंद काबार. हय 30 डेजा भितूर त्या आतां तुमी डिसिजन घेतलो बिल्डरा अगेन्स्ट, बिल्डर हेज टू गो टू एडिशनल डायरेक्टर ऑफ पंचायत विदीन 30 डेज तो वचना जाल्यार तुमचें रेजोल्युशन सारकें जालें न्हू. सो सर्टन सगळेच आमी ग्रामसभेवर डिस्कस करूं शकना कळ्ळें न्हू.
पंचायत कॅन अपॉइंट हिज लॉयर.
येस, लीगल एडवायजर्स आसतात, सगळ्या पंचायतीक लीगल एडवायजर आसतात.
We'll take 2 more questions after this. Okay. Keep your question very short and quick.
My name is Ila. I have a question. So what happens is people from outside Goa come to Goa and non-Konkani, non-Marathi speakers, there are a lot of leaders in a lot of colleges that go into test, right? So if they want to be a part of the election commission or like the electoral process, like the Gram Sabha or the other processes, other electoral processes, are they allowed to do so?
See, for this Gram Sabha, participation in Gram Sabha is for whom? A villager who is the voter he will only participate in the Gram Sabha. He has right to speak. Other than that, a villager who is not a voter, tomorrow if you come to my village and you sit, I will allow you to sit and listen, but I won't allow you to speak or engage in share your views. So this thing is there. Gram Sabha participation is there for everyone. It is open to all, but you can't discuss or speak in Gram Sabha until and unless you are voter of that village. Any non-Goan can sit and come and sit there. He can listen to all the discussion, but he can't share his views or take part in discussion until and unless he is the voter of that panchayat, basically.
Any more questions?
Sir, my question is that, sir, I come from a village from Kerala, Assam. As in, my voting card is in Kerala, but I have been residing at Porvorim. I have my documents, basically all my documents, the address is in Porvorim, like my bank card, my other certificate. So now, though my voting rights are in Kerala, like for the Gram Sabha or other things happening in my particular village, like in Porvorim, can I take part in that?
No.
Or do I have any?
You don't have any official part. As a villager, you can't take any part in Gram Sabha because you are not the voter of Porvorim. You are a voter of Pennem or Parsem, wherever you come from. You can very well go there in Parsem and speak or take part in Gram Sabhas or local discussion.
Any of the other facilities or other
Facilities?
or other benefits or other schemes which come?
Yes, definitely. That you can very well take. Only participation in Gram Sabha is for whom? Those who are elected voters of that panchayat. You can very well take all the schemes which panchayats provide, Porvorim, Sukur or any panchayat which is there, yeah. So you can very well take the schemes which are provided by panchayat. There is no issue.
If I have to shift my voting card,
You have to meet your local BLO there. Yeah.
what would be the process?
You have to make, see, ECI, Election Commission of India, you have to go through that. Now, this electoral drive is going on. First, find out who is the BLO in your local area in Porvorim. Meet him, ask him the procedure, he will guide you properly, apart from you. So, you can very well change that. This you have to, I think, cancel your voting in Parsem and again, all those, by producing all the valid documents with address proof in Porvorim, you can get a voting right in Porvorim.
last question we will take. Anyone else has a question? Okay.
Like I'm from the cities coming from the municipality, so I'm not aware of the participants and who is in the community and how is the Gram Sabha organized. So like if you could tell me brief who chairs the Gram Sabha and how it is handled.
See, these are two different things. Gram Panchayats in Goa runs on or they follow Goa Panchayati Raj Act, and municipality, there are around 11 municipality in Goa. So what procedure we follow, we are directly connecting to the villages or directly connecting to the people within the village. That doesn't happen in municipality. There is no Gram Sabha held in municipality. Okay, if you will have any problem, you can directly write to them. They will take action or they won't take. I am not much aware about this municipal process, but there is no direct engagement or involvement with people in municipal area. Irrespective of that, in panchayat area, you can directly connect to people through Gram Sabha. People can roast you over one single decision. They can come and grill you over, for example, illegal construction. They can very well come and roast you over any decision. Such things are going on in various panchayats. So they can do it in Gram Sabha, particularly in villages. But I don't know much about municipal areas, but municipalities doesn't have this people meeting wherein people are directly speaking or addressing their issues to the chief officer. Like we have a panchayat secretary, municipality has CEO, chief executive officer, and chairman of the municipality is the CP. Okay, so like Sarpanch is the head or first citizen of the village. Municipality has chairman and vice chairman. So now your college or this area comes under Panjim municipality. So like how it is there. The process which we follow in villages and municipal areas are totally different.
Yes, sir. How do you handle violent Gram Sabhas?
Violent Gram Sabha. See, people will be violent when, as in they will be aggressive when the Sarpanch who is there, the person who is chairing the meeting, is not addressing to their issues or he is not listening. It is challenging job. Basically, it is challenging job wherein you have to keep yourself calm, patient enough, so that we can address the issues. You have to convey all the work which Panchayat is doing. We are basically elected to work for the people. If we are not working for the people, we are self-centered basically, then people will be aggrieved or they will be violent when this meeting comes up. I just now told you that they can very well roast you over a decision also. So this can be managed when you tend to work 24/7 within the people. People also know that you are working for them. Anything has been done, it is for them. So once this narrative is been set within people's mind, they come, they patiently put up their proposal, we discuss, and such things are there. But Gram Sabha is violent thing. In certain panchayats, they tend to, I'll tell you one funniest part. In 2020, when I was first elected as the deputy sarpanch of last term, the sarpanch post was reserved for lady. I became deputy sarpanch in 2020, and soon after this COVID, because of COVID, we could not take this Gram Sabha. Okay, I'll tell you one funny fact that sarpanch does every sarpanch in a village, he doesn't want to face people directly. Okay, this trauma is there. Okay, he don't want to face people directly in a Gram Sabha, so he tends to ignore these public meetings. But I'll tell you one funny fact that in month of October in 2021, okay, it was the last Gram Sabha of our term, and we were supposed to face MLA election. So people were violent. They were aggrieved because in 1 year, they did not get time, or they did not get this meeting due to COVID. Public meeting was restricted during that time. So I came to know, because Sarpanch is there, how I'll chair the meeting. 3 days before, my Sarpanch, who was a lady, her mother-in-law expired. So in absence of her, I had to chair this meeting. So that's how I chaired my first meeting in 2021, where shortest period of 3 days were given to me. I had to prepare for the Gram Sabha, get all the facts checks, all the make all the necessary arrangements for this Gram Sabha. So for me it was shivering. I was at the age of 25 maybe during that time. Facing people was problem for me also. But people came up with certain things. I conveyed the work what Panchayat has done, and it is benefiting for me because I am the only educated person in entire 7 members body. I am the highest educated person elected from 1997 to 2000 up to 23 also now. So I am so people tend to listen to me directly. They know that I will get solution to their problem. Maybe not immediate, but in future course of time. So this trust people have developed in me. So that's how my every meeting or every Gram Sabha is not violent, but we tend to have this general discussion. So these things are there. Yeah.
Just one more question about the minutes of the meeting. So is there some secretary or something?
Yes. Secretary has to write all the minutes of the meeting.
One of the first.
No, secretary is directly appointed by government. He is a government appointed person, government servant basically. Yeah.
Okay, yes, last question.
So I had a question on illegal agricultural land filling. If there is a agricultural land which is already filled, does the panchayat has any right to take action to convert it back into agricultural?
Yes, definitely.
And if the panchayat does not take any action, can the higher authority, can any other higher authority take action?
Yes, definitely. For this agricultural land filling, Mamladar is the concerned authority. Okay, if Panchayat is not taking any action, you can very well write to Mamladar. He will send his Talati, the field officer there, and inspect the land, how it was prior, how it is filled now, and a report will be prepared. And Mamladar will submit the report to Deputy Collector, and Deputy Collector will initiate action against Sarpanch also, against the elected body also, to recover the land to its original position. So these things are there. Authority.
So we can directly contact the Mamlatdar.
Definitely, you can make a direct copy to Mamladar and make a CC to Sarpanch. Sarpanch, see, most of the time what happens, people in the villages don't tend to follow up with higher authorities. So this Sarpanch who are there, they are least bothered about your problems. So you have to write to higher authorities directly. Write to BDO, Block Development Officer, write to Mamladar, write to Deputy Collector, so that these people who are there on the position, they take actions. Okay, they are least bothered. In some villages it is there. So Sarpanch who are there, they are least bothered about any problems you will face. So you can give them a direct dhamki kind of thing, that you will approach the higher authorities if they don't take action. So higher authorities will definitely take action. You can write to Director of Panchayat also.
Uncle, you will quickly you ask.
So we are having various schemes and all in panchayats and districts.
Yeah.
So most of the schemes we are not aware of. Like example of punch members or councillors does not tell about the schemes to all the members. Only the members which are famous or
Connected
they are
to
aware, and whereas ordinary people are not aware about that scheme. For example, Vishwakarma scheme just from this.
See, with regards to schemes, what happened? Every elected member is not educated. So there is lapse in his knowledge also. So government implements certain schemes, state government as well as central governments. So how you will get to know? There are field workers. For example, in every panchayat there will be a field worker from social welfare department. For Ladli Lakshmi schemes are there. Then this senior citizen schemes are there. You all can go through him. Social welfare is the direct department where you get certain schemes directly. So you all can meet. You all can find out when he comes to your panchayat. So he is there. So you can approach directly to him apart from punch member. Then fisheries, if your village is connected to fisheries or agriculture, from there a field worker is appointed within a week. He has to come to your panchayat. And apart from this, all this, Swayambhurna Mitra is the person who is appointed by government. He is a government appointed person, a higher officer, He is the person whom you have to contact with regards to central as well as state government scheme. He has to be aware about all the schemes and how to go ahead with these schemes. He will let you know. So every Saturday he is available in Panchayat apart from second Saturdays. So you have to find out who is the Swayambhurna Mitra of your Panchayat and when he comes to your Panchayat, and you have to directly meet him. He will definitely address your issues.
We also wish Sankalp to become the youngest CM of Goa. Yes.
So I will proceed with word of thanks. Thank you, sir, for coming here. And I am very happy that Sankalps are rising in politics. So I would like to thank you for really nice insightful, because I never visited Panchayat personally, but now I feel that I should visit Panchayat, because it is a lot of fun to have Panchayat discussions and also to visit a few people out there. So thank you, Ramrai sir, for organizing this good thing. I would like to thank Purva for preparing. I would also like to thank my volunteers, my friends, Chiraj, who were sitting there throughout the session, recording each and every bit, each and every moment. I would also like to thank Govind, he is not there currently, he just went. And each and every person who sit here patiently and listen to the really nice insightful words by Sankalp sir. And thank you very much for participating. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Request everyone for a good photo.
I would request everyone to come here for a group photo.